Welcome to the first ever Write On Poetry open mic. Yes. I think this was Maureen's idea. What a good idea. Yay. I'm Sharon Hauk, and a proud member of the Write On Joliet Writers Group, which meets here at the Joliet Black Road Library on the first Thursday evening of every month, and either Zoom or here or somewhere on the third Thursday evening of every month. We are a very welcoming writers group with writers of all sorts. We have writers who are photographers, painters, and even interpretive dancers. Dwayne? Okay, Dwayne here. We have a lot of thanks to extend for this evening. The library itself, and Tammy, who is at the Catherine Israel there, for lending us this space, wonderful space in her cafe. And Dwayne, our intrepid videographer and interpretive dancer. A note, if you are coming up to read a poem and you don't feel like being videotaped, just let Dwayne know, and he can pause his videotaping. And here's how it'll work this evening. We have a sign-up sheet, and it will allow for time to socialize afterwards, right? I put only slots on there that would take enough time, or we would still have time to, you know, chat and have fun when we were all done with the open mic. Each poet can read an original work that is family friendly, although the children have left, so we could get into a little bit of trouble maybe, for about 5 minutes. And I have a sign, a very official sign, that says 30 seconds, which I will do this and wave at you if you've gotten to the 30-second mark. But also, please introduce yourself when you come up. Tell us a little bit, if you feel like it, tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us a little bit about your poem before you read it, and that will help us get to know you better. When you are finished reading, and this will be the big quiz, how many people will forget to do this? When you finish reading, please introduce the next poet. So I will bring the sign-up sheet up here. It is my distinct pleasure to start the evening off with our first poet, Cindy Marcus.
Well, a little history. I fell in love with words in 2nd grade when my teacher said, "You don't have to say the red leaves of autumn. You can choose a different word that sounds pretty to you, like the scarlet leaves of autumn." I was hooked. She also liked and encouraged my art. Thank God for good teachers. I began creating my poetry for gift giving. It was always received with sparkling eyes, so satisfying. And it cost me nothing, a very efficient way for an 8-year-old to make someone happy. In addition to writing and art, I have many passions: nature in general, gardening, cooking, sewing, calligraphy with illuminations, reading, movies, and a very soft heart for animals and birds. My creative writing has been published and appreciated in news articles, short stories, commissioned letter writing, and 2 poetry anthologies. Life's path opens unlikely doors, and mine crossed with that of a colorful person whose life stories were an astounding saga of universal interest. A handshake and a collaboration agreement were the beginning of a fictionalized memoir written in a style that acknowledges the intelligence of the reader in its structure and nuance. It took many years to perfect, and now it's done, magically appropriate for today's day and age. I also designed the book's jacket, and I'm in search of an agent publisher for this, for my first novel. So I'm going to read 2 poems. The first one is standard size, the second one is a little shorter. But the first one, I was sorry to see all the little children leave because the child came out in me today. And I'm reading a poem that's really meant for children. So I ask you, since it's just you guys here, I ask you to bring forth the child in you and enjoy this poem. It's called Rainbows on My Walls. There are rainbows on my walls, but they're not here to stay. They hover like a drifty cloud, and then they go away. But they come back when morning breaks to offer me some color, as if to say to you and me, and maybe to another, that they would like to play and decorate the walls all day, because nature beckons for their help in her beauteous display. They humbly act as if their work is anything but fancy, for when I shower them with praise, they say it's coincidency. So I just watch them settle on my pretty pinkless walls, and thank them just the same, you know, for brightening my halls. They look at me so quietly, but I can tell they're pleased, for what little girl would say no thanks to someone such as these? They flaunt their reds and violet spreads and pretty yellow curls, then suddenly in a windswept breeze, their orange and green unfurls. I try to watch the varied stripes as they move across my wall. They flip and flop and furl and roll and won't stay still at all. And then they do a wondrous thing. They melt their colors away and hide until I sleep at night to wake to another day. I ask them why they choose to tease in such a wicked manner, but they flutter and kick their colored stripes to form a splendid banner. I can't be angry, how could I, with beauty so beholding? I only wish the rainbow flecks would answer to my scolding. Thank you. Okay, this one is about the same rainbows, but this is the adult version, and it's a little shorty. This is called Home on Kungsway. Sunrise spills from the east, rainbows plaster the walls. A quiet of unprecedented stillness hovers, then quits, then hovers again. Foliage ingests spiritual stillness, bred into the air about me, never questioning, growth burgeoning, a story of lust in the tropics. Cool, cool water, tepid, compassionate air, resilient, liquid glass, abounding in rich aura, its vibrant scene, a stargaze extravaganza. If there was anything more that I could choose, the guy next door would be playing the blues. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Holly Coop. There you go, girl.
Thank you. I have 2 or 3 poems, depending on if I see the signboard. Yeah. Okay. I saw you today. Mom, I saw you today, getting ready for work, tidying up my clothes, splashing water on my face, walking past my full-length mirror. There you were. Your reflection couldn't have been any clearer. Mom, I saw you today, above the many pots, pans, and dishes. Under the clear, wet splash, it couldn't have been any clearer. You were there. I saw your hands. The day was long. The pain was a flare. My feet throbbed with ache. My back and hips felt like any movement would cause a break. Mom, I saw you today. You were there, and I knew. You lived that pain too. Your essence reflects upon me, Mom, and as I grow older, with each passing day, I see you more and more. I am now a reflection of you. My hands depict toil as yours did, too. My face, with every wrinkle and crease, more and more resembles yours. My bones and muscles ache, as yours did every day. And even though you're gone, Mom, I saw you today. I can only hope that my heart reflects at least a glimpse of what yours was. and that someday my reflection would grace the hearts of those that I have loved. Myself, coffee, and a cat.
I can already relate to this.
And you will. Nestled on my lap, she purrs. With every lift of the cup to my lip, she nudges my hand as if to say, "Pet, please, now." With the cooler morning, I open a window. At first, I hear the almost silent sounds of the morning hours. Those that, if your heart is not in tune, you will miss because of all the static that surrounds. And though my heart and ears remain open to Mother Nature's morning symphony, still those small sounds become almost distant background noise when the hustle and bustle of the world's morning begins. I can not only hear, but can feel the noise pollution like a fog rolls in as the day breaks. There's the sound of the traffic speeding along the highway, rumblings from passing trains, sirens, honks, engines starting, engines revving, and somewhere in the distance, the crow of a rooster attending to his natural early morning ritual of wake-up calls. Unaware of all the noise that surrounds, he continues to shout, "I'm still here to crow, so you might hear. It is time to rise, begin your day." Despite the clanking and clamoring from the break of man's day, my ears remain open, my heart remains in tune. I still enjoy the sounds the morning makes. I listen to the chirping birds as they greet and make their nests. Good morning, robin. Hello to crow and all the little critters inching down below. Mother Nature's alarms are faithfully set. If we keep our hearts in tune, the almost silent sounds of morning cannot be muffled away by the world's static that attempts to infiltrate our day. Despite the world turning, the rooster still calls, "Time to wake, it's daybreak." Thank you. Forever Wanderer. This is from my book, Heartstrings. Forever Wanderer. The forever wanderer sees his love, then swiftly darts right past. For with the wanderer, true love can never last. He chooses friends with caution, keeping none too close for long. When he begins to feel his heartstrings pulled, in a heartbeat he is gone. The forever wanderer longs to find the right one, but if he ever does, only quicker he will run. If there is a woman who could fulfill his every need, she would just give him motivation to gain speed. For in his frantic search, he fails to recognize. To his own truth, he is forever blind. As long as he continues to stand in fate's way, it's true that love will never stay. The eyes of a wanderer will always be looking, but his vision will never be found, because every time love makes her presence, his will be gone.